Hi, I'm Alan.
Hello, I'm Ruth. Thank you for joining us for Connections Wednesday Word.
Today we want to share a word of encouragement with you that came to us at the beginning of the year and just won't go away. We have already spoken to some of you on this, but feel it is a story worthy of repeating in a little greater depth. And it's a word that was birthed at a time that you may well remember, when Australia was struggling with bushfires and drought with no apparent end in sight. Can you see any parallels on what's going on today?
It's about the prophet Elijah and a 3-year drought. You can find it in the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 18. It's a very long story, and this is just the last part.
The story starts with Elijah confronting the wicked King Ahab, who had not followed God's laws but had worshipped false gods. So let's pick up the story in 1 Kings. Now Elijah was from Tishbe in Gilead, told King Ahab, "As surely as the Lord God of Israel lives, the God I serve, there will be no dew or rain during the next few years until I give the word." And sure enough, there was no rain for 3 years. The land was parched, crops failed, and cattle died. And then we read in chapter 18. Later on, in the 3rd year of the drought, the Lord said to Elijah, "Go and present yourself to King Ahab. Tell him that I will send rain." So Elijah went to appear before Ahab. This appearance was quite amazing, because Ahab had been searching for Elijah all over the country, but couldn't find him. So imagine Ahab's surprise when Elijah just walked in. It all resulted in a great contest on Mount Carmel between King Ahab with his 450 prophets of Baal and their imaginary gods, and the one and only true God with his prophet Elijah. No prizes for guessing who won. Go read the story. After God's victory on Mount Carmel, Elijah prayed for rain, and this is what the Bible tells us. Then Elijah said to Ahab, "Go get something to eat and drink, for I hear a mighty rainstorm coming." So Ahab went to eat and drink, but Elijah climbed to the top of Mount Carmel and bowed low to the ground and prayed with his face between his knees. Elijah had heard a mighty rainstorm coming way before anyone could see the rain. How good is that? Then Elijah said to his servant, "Go and look out towards the sea."
So the servant went and looked over the ocean, and he reported back to Elijah, "I can't see anything." Elijah said, "Go look again." So he went, looked, came back. "I still can't see anything." And so it went on. 6 times he went to look and saw absolutely nothing. He was getting pretty fed up by now. Then the 7th time he looked and came rushing back to Elijah. "There's a cloud as small as a man's hand rising out of the sea."
That cloud as small as a man's hand was a sign of hope. Let's read what happened next. Then Elijah shouted to his servant, "Hurry to Ahab and tell him, 'Climb into your chariot and go back home. If you don't hurry, the rain will stop you.' And soon the sky was black with clouds. A heavy wind brought a terrific rainstorm, and Ahab left quickly for Jezreel. Then the Lord gave special strength to Elijah. He tucked his cloak into his belt and ran ahead of Ahab's chariot all the way to the entrance of Jezreel. So Elijah heard a mighty rainstorm coming before it ever appeared. Such was his confidence that God would bring rain on a parched land. And look what happened. And can you remember earlier this year, Australia prayed for rain to put out the fires, and God moved by sending some mighty rainstorms, and the fires were quenched. This got us thinking about all the little clouds of hope we have seen that were a promise of better things to come. And so we shared the Elijah story with our family and told them of our little clouds of hope at this extraordinary time when Australia and the world are struggling with a virus that is affecting so many aspects of life.
Our sons came back to us with their little clouds of hope. Here's the list. New running shoes arrived in the post. Great excitement for someone who takes part in serious triathlons. By the way, Elijah didn't have expensive running shoes, but he ran approximately 27 kilometres. That's the distance from Carmel to Jezreel. I checked. And he was running in front of a chariot. Next one. Speaking more than usual with the family by Skype, phone, Zoom, etc. Cooking polenta for the first time, and apparently it was yummy. Flowers coming out in the garden. Actually taking a lunch break at work. And finding a classical music radio station our son described as an oasis of calm in a mad world.
Then our daughter and son-in-law chipped in with their own little clouds of hope. They run their own business. And the first one, we still have work coming in, great. And we can make the most of quieter times for some personal downtime.
And here are some of our little clouds of hope. Our neighbour telling us that Foodworks do home delivery. Thank you, neighbour, and thank you, Foodworks. Friends braving the rain to deliver homegrown pumpkin, keeping social distance, of course. And thank you, the soup was delicious. A flourishing garden, particularly ripening lemons. Wildlife in the paddock next door. Our first sighting of boxing kangaroos. That was exciting. Songs, pictures and quotes that lift our spirits. We're collecting them on our Speak Life notice board. And DVDs appearing in our letterbox.
And as we became more encouraged, we also remembered Joan's word of encouragement about chasing joy. And when, like lots of families at this time, we turned out our cupboards, look what Ruth found.
I defy anyone to see this and not smile. Go on. I found it in the back of the cupboard. It must have been left by a visiting friend, but I'd never seen it before.
So now we play soccer in the hallway, but don't tell the kids. And I've even made up a set of Skittles for 10-pin bowling. Well, actually, we've only got 5 Skittles at the moment. But as we use more of that precious paper toweling, a new Skittle emerges from the cardboard core at the very centre of it. The fun thing, though, is that the ball has a built-in bias. So it doesn't matter how good you are at bowling, you have no guarantee that you'll get any of the Skittles down.
And the smiley face reminds me of a verse from Proverbs. It's chapter 15, verse 30. A cheerful look brings joy to the heart. Good news makes for good health.
So take a look this week and see what little clouds of hope you can discover. Then share them with somebody. Maybe phone a friend and be a blessing to them. And don't forget to smile. And through it all, let's keep praying this week for God's blessing on Australia. Ruth is going to share a blessing now with all of us as we close.
So may the Lord bless us and protect us. May the Lord smile on us and be gracious to us. May the Lord show us his favour and give us his peace. Amen.
Catch!